Anyone who watches my channel can tell I'm a gear nerd. I'm always looking to shed weight from my pack for backpacking and hunting. That lets you go further, go there faster, and just be more effective. And that led me to looking at ultralight saw options. Now, a while back, you guys probably remember me talking about this saw. This is an ARS saw. Great saw, very lightweight. I'm very partial to these folding saws just because I can use them quickly and efficiently. There's nothing I've got to fiddle with or assemble. Recently, came across this guy. So that's what we're going to talk about today. This is currently the lightest saw I'm aware of, particularly if you want something that doesn't suck. So this is made by Jan Rezac out of the Czech Republic. This is actually a 3D printed handle for a Silky POCKETBOY blade. These handles come sized for the POCKETBOY. This is for the 170 millimeter blade. He also makes one for the 130 millimeter blade. Including the blade, this saw comes in at 2.65 ounces, and the 130 millimeter comes in at 2.4 ounces. So as far as features go, it's kind of everything you need and nothing you don't. So you got a lanyard hole back here just in case you need it. Again, it's on a pivot, and you can change these blades with just a Phillips head screw. It's got a retention pin here that locks in 2 positions. So it locks there, and it's not going to fold up on you. And it also locks here, so it's not going to fold up on you. The other nice thing about this pin is that all of your weight and stress is going to be on this material and on that pin, not on any plastic parts aside from this large handle. Lastly, it does have a full-length blade cover, so there's no exposed blade to catch anything in your pack. And it's also got a retention pin back here, so it snaps into place nicely. When it's snapped, it's not going to come open on you. It's very, very tight, but not too tight. All in all, it's a very simple piece, but that's a lot of times the best. Very, very lightweight, very slim, easy to stick into a pack. Jan is super easy to reach out to. I'll leave his contact information in my comments down here. If you end up getting a saw from him, let him know that I sent you. The other great thing about this saw is because it uses these really popular Silky POCKETBOY blades, it lets you have reliable replacement blades. They're easy to source, and it gives you a lot of options for tooth count. For general purpose, I purchased this medium tooth blade that gives me decent performance on both wood and bone. Honestly, if I was going to do it again, I'd probably go ahead and get the fine blade. But the nice thing is, these blades are pretty easy to swap. All you need is a Phillips head screwdriver. You could see on a longer trip carrying both a rough saw blade for like woodwork and then carrying a fine for bone, antler, things like that. This saw has really solved a few issues for me. The biggest one of which was just finding a saw light enough where I was okay carrying it with me when I was hunting for deer and stuff on a daily basis. A saw takes up a lot of room and is pretty heavy. Again, this one's 0.5 ounces, so it's nothing heavy by any means, but when you can come in at half the weight and still have all the performance, it's hard not to slip this into the pack. It's also very thin, as you can see. It's about half the thickness of this ARS saw too. Now, granted, if I was going to be doing a significant amount of cutting, you know, if you were a bushcrafter or something along those lines, I'd probably take this saw here. But if you're an ultralight backpacker using a wood stove, a hunter that's using a hot tent, or if you're just looking for something to cut through some bone or, you know, a little bit of woodwork occasionally while you're on a longer hike or an extended trip, this is a great option. The handles are pretty inexpensive. I think I paid about $35 shipped for the handle. The blade will cost you almost that much. So just a really, really cool option that I wanted to highlight. As far as in operation, I've had no issues out of this saw. I have not had a chance to use it on deer or anything. I would say anytime you're cutting through bone, just taking your time and not going too hard is going to be important, particularly with this one because it is a little bit lighter weight build. As far as doing some woodworking and stuff like that, this one's been great for me so far. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning into the video. If you have any questions about this saw or about anything else that I've talked about or my other videos, feel free to drop a comment. I try to respond to pretty much all of my comments and questions.